Hi, it's Sylvie with another weekly health tip, continuing with some nonviolent communication and different applications. It can also be helpful to guide other people who are struggling, or can be used for counseling. Even professional therapists can use it to help with their counseling. That's what Marshall Rosenberg did, and he had amazing results. So here we go. One of the greatest, most important parts of NVC is being able to empathize and practicing empathy. And I did put a link for practicing down below. And I put a few other links as well, because this is a fairly big topic and there's a lot to cover, and I'm trying to keep my videos relatively short. There's a write-up as well that has more details, just in case I forget any details. So the idea is, when we're helping someone, is to really empathize with them, to mirror their feelings and needs, to guess their feelings and needs, to give them an opportunity to see that we really get them, that we understand what they're talking about, and that we really see them and hear them. So that is very important when helping people, so that we're not diagnosing, we're not giving them advice, giving them unsolicited advice, making them wrong for feeling how they feel. So all of these things do not serve. So empathy is the best way to start helping someone, and nonviolent communication is very good at showing people how to empathize and how to practice empathy. So listening for feelings and needs, depending on what the person is saying, you can just guess. And even if you get it wrong, it's okay, because the person who's receiving your guess is seeing that you're trying to get them, trying to understand. And even the wrong guess will actually help them to focus within and bring them into the present. And that's what we really want to do. We want to bring people into the present. People can get stuck in loops, get stuck in past hurts and past traumas, worry about the future. All the stress comes mostly from past or future focus. So if you can get the person to focus in the present, that's when the most healing can occur. So this is a really good way to do that, to get the person check in on their feelings and see if you can help them figure out what needs are of theirs are not being met. So that is the step one. Another way you can help is you can help them sort out their own internal voices. Often people who are struggling have unreconciled voices, judgments, and we all have I call it the internal committee, and sometimes we really don't talk very nicely to ourselves, and we will use shame, blame, and name calling and labeling on ourselves. How could I be so stupid? I'm always getting it wrong. All these kinds of negative self-talk can cause a lot of problems. The only thing is, when we really listen carefully to a lot of these statements, especially if it's a judgment, there's usually a need that wasn't met. So in terms of how could I be so stupid, part of me was not satisfied with whatever I have done or whatever I said. So the idea is to empathize with that aggressive voice, to see what need it has, what need it's trying to express, and then get it to soften into using feelings and needs language, and then getting that harsher voice to empathize with the other part of yourself that might have been feeling hurt by what it expressed, or feeling hopeless, or any kind of stress response to being judged or having someone speak harshly to you. So it helps with that internal dialogue. So one could work through this with a counselor, one could work through this with an empathy buddy, with a friend, one could work through this using a journal as well, to write down all the internal voices and see what message they're really trying to express, and which need that they are trying to express using the language that is not very clear. The third one is just to help identify the person's feelings and needs. Often when people are struggling, is they don't even know what they need, and they don't have the tools to get that awareness. So just to suggest feelings and needs as someone explains to you their situation and where their struggle is, then you can say, oh, I'm wondering if you're feeling depressed because you have a need for companionship, or you have a need to be understood, or you have a need for rest, or different things like that, so that the person can really see what they need and to help them make a plan to get their needs met. So that's the idea, and also get them to speak to themselves in a way that is supportive, as opposed to speaking to themselves in a way that is not supportive. So giraffe and nonviolent communication language versus jackal slash shame, blame, judgment, labeling kind of conversation. Or also diagnosing is sometimes we'll diagnose it ourselves. We'll say, oh, I'm so neurotic, kind of thing. So what does that mean really? And it isn't very clear. So maybe I'm feeling like part of me, I'm not satisfied with my ability to focus, or maybe I have a need for more predictability in my own behavior because I'm getting confused, or I'm dropping balls and things are not working the way I'd like them to work. So just to hear the positive, helpful information that voice is trying to convey, because usually our internal voices are there to help us. Not always, but most of the time they are trying to encourage us to behave in a way that serves all of our needs, as opposed to just a few. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to make the video too long. I have my description with further details, and I also have some links to help practice and dig deeper into this concept if you are so interested. Have a great day. Bye.